What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Spandau Ballet, and we're returning to Through the Barricades, 1986. Thank you again to Phil for stepping in and extending or helping me extend the Spandau Ballet journey. And the next track on the record is Swept. So it's a single word title. Of course, being swept means being brushed in a particular direction, whether that's away from something or towards something. You can be swept by your own emotions, but you can also be removed from a particular situation by being swept aside or swept off the table. So yes, it sounds like a sweeping motion, a large-scale movement, whether that is voluntary or otherwise, but given that it's a single word title, there's not much else I can do with it in advance, so let's give it a listen. This is Spandau Ballet, the track is Swept, and it's from their 1986 album Through the Barricades, although this is a remastered version of the album.
Be careful what you say, loose talk could sink this ship. Well, the way that I am, I'm as weak as a lamb, see it on my shaky lip. There's more to these actions than you could ever know. With the moon on the tide, I'm drawn to your side, moving with the flow. When it's time to choose and it's sink or swim, now I drown this time. When the cold wind blows and I'm falling in.
I like that. I feel like it could have gone around once more and then slowly faded, but I like that proper ending. I feel like there's essentially no song they do that I don't like on some level. They just really have a nostalgic style, which is to say, I'm not familiar with their catalog beyond one or two tracks that I knew from my youth, but I just really enjoy their blend of like these smooth, danceable sonics with almost always a swanky saxophone line and some nice vocals. And yeah, so like lyrically, I'm intrigued. And I was thinking as the track started that one possibility I did not mention is the idea of being windswept, the idea of the wind sweeping an environment or stirring up, leaves or even the trees and so on, the idea of being windswept and pushing the clouds away and so on. So I feel like that was part of the expression or one articulation of the idea of being swept, but it does seem like he's very much talking about the inertia of his feelings being swept up in this loving feeling to the point where he's losing control, and he's the gravity of his feeling is such that mind is over matter. The idea of his mind, that feeling of love and maybe devotion is so strong that his body has a movement that he's not entirely in control of. So I feel like it is playing on multiple levels. But yeah, so I enjoy the visual reference mixed with an emotional feeling, and it sounds like he's aware of what's happening but unable to, pull back rationally. The line about it's, sink or swim, and he usually drowns, and in this case he's probably going to drown, it seems maybe a bit pessimistic, the idea that being swept in this way may not have a happy ending and may lead to pain, but again, he seemingly is powerless to pull back from that or change his trajectory, so he's acknowledging the quality of mind over matter, or the force of his heart relative to maybe his rational brain. And yeah, again, I enjoy the saxophone. There's a couple different elements. There's the solo part, but there's also that double triple riff. It's sort of a quick riff and then a second articulation of that, and then the measure turns over. So I enjoy the saxophone once again. I think the vocals sound good. Again, I remember going into this deep dive, the idea of some Spandau songs having vocals that were a bit over the top as part of what people talked about, but I think he sounds good here again. So yeah, another tasty tune to me, even though I've become well aware that by this time some people thought they were losing their touch or maybe just retreading old ground, but it all sounds good to me, so I'm enjoying it. Once again, shout out to Phil, as well as to Han Solo, who provided earlier Spandau material. 2 more tracks on this album. The next one is Snakes and Lovers, which sounds a bit dichotomous, a bit dangerous, but also potentially passionate. So we'll have to see what that one's all about. And then we finish with the title track, Through the Barricades. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And of course, thinking of its potential relationship to the introduction Barricades, which is, the way the record started. So yeah, looking forward to the remainder of the album. Let me know what you think of this, and I will see you next time. Peace.